this plane path, G-Clef, much nicer than what we saw on Miramar. This one right down the middle, more or less. Yeah, it's a little bit Western biased, but this isn't a hard shifted plane path like we saw on Miramar today.
And we see Genji going towards that South George as well as Tiamba.
All right. Well,
again, here we have it.
I mean, are they going to go North George? Is Genji going to go North George?
No way. I don't think
they got to contest vehicles. I mean, unless you long drop, you can. Aqua 5 is actually getting out already. He might have spotted a vehicle right underneath him. So Genji might go North George here. They might just say that, you know what, let's just stay in North George. We end up rotating across the top part of the river anyway.
Though.
What in the world?
K7, you happy?
What?
What a headshot.
Why is these teams fighting? I am so shocked right now. Zenon and Savior actually doing some serious work here. New Happy falling apart at the seams. It's just like non-left. He takes a bunch of damage. What in the world is happening here? This is not at all what I had on my radar for this round.
I know K7 just dropped right on top. And from the rooftop, those headshots are actually landing so well. You have been having somewhat of a trouble. Already losing 2, down to the last member right now. K7 on a push. Can he actually make a miraculous escape? He's getting ready for those shots.
Well,
has to be the only spot.
Here we go. We got the pizza gun coming up the stairs. A Bison on the outside for Buyo. He doesn't have a lot of bullets left in it though. And Zennon and Lockslock are pretty beat up already. So this is pretty dangerous. I feel like Leknon, if he had more than 8 bullets, would have a really good chance here, G-Clef. But
at least he has a red dot.
He has a red dot and 8 bullets and a prayer. Oh my goodness. Here we go. 1. He gets the first, isn't able to get the second.
Oh, good jump.
If he had more bullets, he might have been able to do that.
But also 3 bullets.
Oh my god.
For Jenna only on that mutant. I think he's the one that picked up so many kills, leading into those headshots. But you happy? It's like 0 kills.
Game of centimeters. Just every little thing matters in PUBG, and you can see why there. Now, it is going to be a split of North George and South George, but the circle is looking like it might go north for Genji. So, in this case, they might have, I don't want to say lucked out, but probably, I think, made a better decision here to just avoid this fight. You couldn't get it done on South George. Tianba probably had a slightly better drop, it looked like, for South George anyway.
Yep, and Genji, we were slightly mentioning that they might go North George, but because they have so much pride on the line. But they have a lot of pride, but price does matter a lot too at the same time.
Yeah, I felt like coming into this that, gosh, Godby, so good, so good. Look at the shooting as well into VLG. I mean, he's just doing it all. Forever, of course, is we know nuts, and this was Godby's turn to step up. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as right after the replay, we were looking into 4 a.m., but Tiamba actually, this is the rotation. Loki is there, but might not be able to pressure because he's all alone. Knows that Tiamba might actually pressure onto Loki.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, he's caught.
He's done.
Shouldn't have shot.
There you go. Yeah, that's not what you want to see there, and it's going to be Loki down and out early for Genji, so they aren't able to rotate as fast out of their positions as Tianba, and they are caught out of position once again.
This is exactly where Genji actually puts pressure, even with sometimes even up to 3 men, not just 1. But I don't think they expected this early of a rotation from Tiamba when they're still in circle. But Tiamba being scared of locking down from those bridge side, especially against Genji, made that quick rotation. Works out perfectly for them.
Yeah, it feels like I mean, Tiamba's just steps ahead of Genji. They're just too much better right now. And for Genji, it's definitely a struggle. But VLG, there were some members of 4 a.m. that were kind of creeping up towards the backside of Deva, but he has gotten out. We saw that a little bit earlier. And cutting over to Hikari as well, has gotten across the bridge. So VLG making their way towards, it looks like, the crashed airplane up on the mountain. And they are liking their drop by Razak. I think it's going, a little bit better for them than previous tournaments have.
Yeah, certainly for VLG and 4 a.m. They're also moving out from the eastern side of Rozhok all the way to the top, getting those massive, maybe Entus is also looking for those riding shots as they're trying to lock down. They do hear the vehicle.
How did Entus only find one Dacia in all this Picado business? Although I will say, Entus has been making really early rotations out of Pachinki no matter what. And so I think they're prioritizing that in this situation. Yes, it is more dangerous to put more people in a car like this, but I think they think it's well worth it to take the risk and try to get across. Now, Tianba does have Lurena over here on one side of the bridge, and of course we know what's going on the other side of the bridge because Loki found out the hard way.
As they are trying to get those running shots as Tianba. Mingzi is here, but no real shot. Actually, that was a headshot. Pretty nice damage going in, but no real knocks. As Gen.G will be waiting for Entus.
I mean, I wonder just how frazzled Gen.G is. Pio's going to hear the car, but he's getting in his own car as well. I imagine for Gen.G, you either try to set up a trap on top of Entus and see if you can catch them fully unawares, or if you are actually just going to try to kind of bypass each other here, and you can see Entus wants no part of this.
Yeah, there's another compound right inside here, so I think that's exactly where Pio is going, or even into the shack, into the next hill. I think Entus wanted to go into that house without Pio. That's why they have parked right up on the hill right before that little compound. Yeah, Pio's checking if anyone's here right now alone. That's usually where Pio would strike.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is there was only really maybe 2 or 3 teams that could have gotten there ahead of Pio, but K7's busy dusting off New Happy in Severny, which I still can't believe that fight happened. I was not expecting that at all. VLG could have been another one that gotten there out of Razak, but VLG sets up by the plane instead. So for Pio, that house is going to be his. MCG making a early entrance into the middle as they cross the shooting range area. Tianba now going to regroup with all 4 of their members. Oops.
I think this is still... Yep, can't always happen. Okay, let's keep it a secret, guys. Okay, just
Nobody
between
saw
you,
it.
Just between.
If we all closed our eyes, it never happened.
No one say anything, okay? Yeah, they're still keeping in because there's still some chance of the next circle popping all the way south, and these teams might actually have to cross the river once again. That would be like the worst possible circle.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It actually could. There's still a lot of the south inside of this first circle, so I've seen it plenty of times. It could even be another 50-50. I've seen that more often than maybe I think the players would want to see in the Korean qualifiers. We saw it all the time, but it is going to be infantry that has another 2-2 split, 2 up on Everest and 2 down in front. That is more of a Gen.G split that I traditionally see out of them when they have South George.
Yeah, especially before crossing the river, trying to get all the scouting information and checking all those houses across the river so they can actually have an easier entrance, maybe even through that long bridge into Jorgopol. I think that's another chance that if they can try to do. They're going down the Mount Everest there, but Pero is right next to them. They did hear those vehicles.
VLG is just scoping out their territory. They've established it, they've carved it out for themselves, and now they just wait to see who will be the ones to try to contest it. There is 4AM lurking on their southeast side. They have a Freaka up to the northeast, but I don't think any of these teams are really going to push too much further. I could see Crazy from 4AM in a vehicle driving around. He's more just checking the perimeter in front of 4AM, a little bit to the south of VLG. MCG has, the 2-2 split by the shooting range. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a real good feeling that we might just end up near where MCG is right now, right on the south side of shooting range near those broken airplanes. And those are going to be the pretty good splits for MCG and also VLG right on top of those small mountains.
And look at Entus. They go all the way up by Zarki, loot up a little bit around there, establish a lot of that territory for themselves, and right towards the shooting range, you have the Swami hat on here, G-Clef, the future predictor. Can you please tell me what the lottery numbers are tomorrow?
I'll buy one first and they'll tell you after.
Oh, I see how it is. Wow.
Okay, Entus actually making a pretty big rotation onto K7, but if they use the beach side, they can't really get shot too many shots. Yeah, because you have those angles covered.
Yeah, everybody on the western side of this, except I'd say Entus, is a little bit nervous because you got to cross the bridges and try to cut through these teams. First one going to give it a go. Pero hits a tree. Oh boy, that's no good. You're giving Tianba a lot of time to shoot at you. Luren is going to get it. Yeah, it's just too easy.
So good.
Yeah, it's at that point you're dead to rights.
Had no escape either. But still just locking one down, and that might not be the only one. As Pero, they lost one, okay. That's a big cost, but we'll just make the reverse rotation.
Yeah, you can try the other side of that particular road that Tianba is guarding, but Tianba's already in a movement to guard the other side of that bridge. So Tianba's going to try to keep both bridges completely barricaded as best as they can, it looks like, potentially. M200 has made his way down there. For Pero, there is the option to try to swim from the Razak area across right now, but 4AM is over there. That's kind of spread out along that riverbank, so that's going to be tough too. Griffin has found the kind of normal home for them is the Zarki area, but they rotate by Entis. I don't think Songjang is going to fight them too much here, though.
Yeah, but as the rest of the squad, they had a pretty big wide spread with vehicle angle from the left side of the circle, the new circle, and they checked towards the beach side. Okay, no one's here, but there was some shots taken by K7, and after having those understandings, and there are not that many compounds to the west of Cervoni, only a couple, and made the choice to go directly into those, basically a jungle right in between.
I really want to keep my eyes on Entis, not just because they're in second place right now, but because I'm having flashbacks to a circle that ended around the shooting range, and you guys can get that code
time
while I'm talking, and definitely code time. But Entis won a game right by the shooting range where they worked in towards the western side of the shooting range, came up the hill, and beat G9, who were coming down the hill. That was either the Charity Showdown or PCS1. It's escaping me which one it is. Now Godvy's turn for the Groza, and if he's going to keep that kind of momentum that he built from the last game, that is a scary, scary gun to have in his hands.
For sure. 4AM actually had a pretty good setup on top of Rozak, trying to catch any team, any kind of kills with that easy rotation. Again, I think they're just keeping the exact same type of strategy again until day number 2, but no easy rotation coming out from any other 15 teams that are still in the game.
Yeah, infantry's just driving around the edges, and you talk about this at the very beginning of the broadcast, G-Clef. They've been trying to make this, this edge strategy work, but it hasn't really paid off so far.
Yeah, only for Tianba, other than Tianba, Genji, Infantry, Griffin, who actually decided to go a little bit early this time, is actually going to find an okay spot because they made that earlier entry from near hospital in that edge of first circle. And we go right into the east side of shooting range. Not too much. OPGG actually will be able to control a lot of those open space from the storage down.
Yeah, the backside of OPGG is very open, and you can see actually Godvy is kind of driving in that general direction. There are those line of shacks in there that you can kind of hang out at and make it work, but usually you're only doing that if you're desperate and you're like a solo player or a two-man left.
Solo squad, basically.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think 4AM isn't going to extend too much further. I imagine 4AM might be looking at a rotation trap here.
Nice. I think they want to catch those late rotational teams coming from Yasnaya or from school side. That's going to be Ifty. Focusing on to Entis as Sun Sister came all the way out here to challenge him.
Yeah, the northwest side of this circle is bananas. There are a lot of teams up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I'm counting just quickly are all, and it's going to be Entis making their kind of now quintessential patented dive towards the center around phase 3 or 4, and they're doing it a little bit earlier than usual, but the circle has kind of forced the issue. They have Genji right underneath them to their south. Under's going to pop out of his vehicle. It looks like Kale might be dead and out. Indeed he is. Faye is going to find that one.
Yeah, a lot of teams actually just rotating into that higher spot on top of this hill right below, right on the south side of shooting range, as number 5 again caught with that big rotation. This had to be the risk. They lose another member, only 2 men left for Genji, but they do find a somewhat of a safe spot in that center.
And let's point this out. It is Anonix and PO left. If there's any 2 players in the world who can get it done as a duo, it's these 2. And this compound, not too bad. Pretty well defendable, especially for 2 people. I will say, all things considered, they're dead center. Not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world, and actually one of the better rotations that we have seen so far from Genji. And they're going to be there for a while. So moving away from them, we like to see Tianba still charging in with close to no vehicle from that western side. And GEX, they're about to challenge him too. I think they have a pretty good idea.
Wow. Songjang and Under combining forces to get Hikari down and out. The top fragger for VLG is gone. Now K7 is fighting Sun Sister over by the shooting range. Tianba rolls up behind GEX. I don't think they have any idea that anyone from Tianba is here, and that's going to be a quick down and out onto Leo.
At GEX, I think they Must have heard a lot of rotation from Genji and was scared that there could have been some traps set up by the other teams. So they will lose a couple, but I think they will still have few members left into the next phase.
Yeah, because of all the chaos going on in the northern side of this circle, I think GEX got pretty distracted by that, and in this case now they're full. Oh gosh. Okay, bye-bye, Sun Sister. It's MCG.
Well, MCG, they had an early control over the shooting range, but Sun Sister, I think they poked at the pretty good timing, but you just cannot win a good fight against a near full squad of MCG. But K7,
ooh, it's going to be a 1-for-1 for the Nox there. The reinforcements coming for Entis. They're late for MCG because they're caught up in the shooting range. So even though it was knock for knock, it's going to be Entis who's able to bring their numbers to bear and take Tank out.
They know exactly when to push and where to push. And VLG, they did hear the rotation of Genji. They know that Genji is right in this spot. So I think they want to go for the challenge, knowing that this angle is actually not being, you can't really see this angle from if you stay in these compounds.
Yeah, they're up on this hill. You can kind of push this compound a bit. Then you got to throw a few smokes maybe to get down. But other than that, you can get it done for sure. And Melifo finding Juanita, he's down, but Melifo is knocked. 2R steps up, trying to take C's down. C's very, very, very hurt. 2R just needs to land one more bullet, but C's able to safely get behind the hill for now. And early on, Griffin suffering another loss. No kills yet for them. They're trying to get something going. They are dead last on the leaderboard.
Yeah, but still a lot faster of a rotation. I love their rotational play so far in this game from Griffin, taking advantage of the positions here. Multi-circle game, can they do it once again? It is Summer, but not enough this time.
Summer almost one-mans it there against K7. He gets 2, isn't able to finish it. There might be some going down to the blue, though, as well, as it is phase 4. Under now was watching, he heard, he sees, he heard the vehicle from Detonation Gaming, he heard the shots from K7. He hasn't been able to find any luck connecting shots with that. Tianba now is going to have to make their way in on the western side between Pero and Entis.
Yeah, that can be challenging. As Entis, they got a good lock. Lingdu trying to make an escape from that shooting range. And Griffin from the northern side not really finding any luck with those shots.
All right, K7 gets on a buggy, and they're praying that they can find some kind of open space up on the northeastern side. There is sort of something, but OPGG quickly kind of realizes that they've left a little bit of territory, maybe either unscouted or unoccupied, but Godby now doesn't even need to do anything because Forever's there. And Lingdu gone. Multi-Circle Gaming gets some kills, but isn't able to find any placement points.
Yeah, a little too bad. As 4 AM have a massive control towards the southern part of the circle. As VLG, Genji, they were not going to move an inch from those 2 spots. K7 looking to break into what seems like it's actually possible. But of course, if you're sitting on the back of the buggy, you just have to go down. There's no way.
It'd be more possible if it was a different vehicle. No doubt about that. And now Xavier finds a rock, but everybody's hearing it and watching it. He's going to go down. K7 cannot stand, as there are so many teams looking and shooting at that. Indigo is going to fall for Entis. Now it's up to Under and Sungjang to get it done. 3 kills, though, so not the end of the world for them. Detonation Gaming White is now coming up the hill with their surviving member. Sungjang going to let some grenades fly, see if he can find anything. Gokuri doing some good shots. Going to put the damage into Sungjang. That's going to put him behind the tree.
Yeah, and the pathing for Detonation Gaming White to go up to Entis will actually be really hard because of some angles available from Griffin down.
Yeah, Tianba just bops into the backside of Sungjang. They recognize they've been keeping track of their kill feed. You got to give Tianba a lot of credit. They knew that Entis was already beaten up, and they just come in the backside and pick up a kill in the midst of all this fighting. But here's Pero now as well, so it's a third party on a third party. Pero gets the job done. Tianba down in 11th place.
And while this is all happening, Under trying to make a move go into the circle actually will be pretty safe. Getting shot at right now by VLG. Can he actually escape into the circle? It seems like that's almost possible. And Detonation Gaming White, they're actually challenging up to Pero.
Well, they have no other choice, really. They got to make a fight happen, and this is about the only opportunity they have. They're not ready for that, though. Machao goes down quick to the combined fire here between XCD, Mill, and Long DD, and that is going to be Detonation Gaming done. Good stand, good defense. Now it is Griffin, who still has 3 up. and they've been kind of left alone. Everybody else went for the circle. Griffin waited patiently on the edge.
Okay, 4 AM is still very spread apart. There might be a chance that they can actually break into Forever and Gotti. The only two members, Crazy and Shalu, very far away from the other two. And they might be regretting this 2-2 split.
Yeah, this is going to be a little weird for Griffin, though, because they have to deal with Pero first, and that might open the door for 4 AM to come up on the backside and third-party flank this. 2Heart goes down so quick. XDD is rocking and rolling with the SLR. Feels like he's hitting every shot. He takes Long DD coming in with his barrel as well. And this is Griffin getting mowed down.
Yeah, went in a little too much, and Griffin goes out in 9th place. Pero will actually be able to pick up a lot of kill points by staying near that, near the circle, edge of the circle, as 4 AM is now going to fully press on them.
Yeah, I think now 4 AM might just, you know, do what they do best, and that's set up barricades on the edges of the circles. Lou sprays in there, but there's a smoke, makes it a little bit hard to see exactly what's going on. Godvi has that Groza that we mentioned earlier, looking, and Long DD. I don't know if he's gonna see this coming. Godvi has a pretty good idea of where Long DD is based on these smokes.
That looks good.
That looks pretty good. He's gonna back off of it. See, catches a little bit of damage, it looks like, but no knock. The rest of 4 AM waiting very patiently.
Yeah, as XDD is trying to use the vehicle and leave Long DD alone and maybe look for an escape, but Forever is already out in the wing. So 4 AM looks pretty good on this cleanup against Pero, but let's look at where OPG and Ifty, also Freaka Freaks all the way onto the east. That's going to be a lot of firepower.
Well, this move by Godvi completely split up the two survivors from Pero. It's a really nice move. He doesn't overextend. He seems to have kind of reeled himself in, and now they're going to focus their fire down quick and easy. Long DD headshotted from the Groza, and now it is one left there. XDD trying to survive, trying to hold on for Pero, but 4 AM has come down to bear. Infantry in the meantime over on the side. Everybody trying to get in from the eastern edge, and everybody has nothing but the edge of the circle to hang on to.
And 4 AM, it seems like they almost have the chicken dinner in this next circle because they have a lot of high ground control on these grounds, and also mostly on that southern side. And a lot of teams are basically focused down here, looking for some luck, going into that vehicle, but the fucker's gonna spray, get that 2 knock.
Woof. Dang Jay and EJ were not ready for that. They were looking at that motorcycle, getting ready to make a rotation. Alfaka scouts it out, gets the double, gets the job done. And now Afrika is reeling with some bolts even. That's not what Afrika wants, no doubt about it. They are not a bolting team. Now Alfaka, though, tries to cut ahead, and it's going to be 9 from Infantry, who makes him pay. Ao is going to see if he can cut a little bit further down and keep himself safe.
There's not much space. Maybe look for the rock right there, as he actually took no damage from that. So nicely done, but he can't hold on for too long. And there will be 4 AM also pushing on the way. Afrika Freaks in the middle goes out, and Onyx gets one more on the way.
Infantry's still 4 up. Let's not count them out. This might be the round where they finally come alive. Longsker kills AO, OPGG out in 5th. We're down to 4 teams. And Onyx does get into the top 4 for Gen G. So, like you mentioned, they make a good rotation. He does go down to Godvi in the end, but they are able to pick up some placement points finally. One of the better rounds, surprisingly, that we've seen out of Gen G. VLG, though, in trouble. It is Forever finding Lambu. There's only one standing for that team right now. Godvi looking to finish the job.
Yeah.
Forever has 4, Godvi has 3. There's another good grenade from Godvi. 10 kills for 4 AM.
Okay, and Ifty versus 4 AM, but 4 AM, they do have the ground control from the higher angle. Ifty, they have a lot of vehicle cover, but they have to move out, setting up some nice angles for themselves. It is going to be off to the wing players. Shaolu versus Boiling, all the way towards that east.
This is exciting. A 4v4 against 2 of the best of the best.
And a pretty big open field.
Oh, this is really exciting. All right, there's a good flank potentially coming here. Crazy! Got the opening down on the long skirt. Not what you want to see for Infantry, but they return fire. They're going to find Lu. So down and out is Lu. It's flushed. Bolyang has a decent angle, but Zhao Yang goes down. Crazy goes down.
2-2.
2-2. Let's see who can come out of this. These teams are trading blows like it's a heavyweight boxing match. Godvi pushes steps down the hill in his US. There is a little bit of cover down here. There are some other vehicles in a box in the way as well. Forever is going to find 9. So now it is a 2v1. Boliang is hurt. He hasn't been able to heal
no
yet.
cover.
He's in trouble. Godby just needs to land his shots. Boliang's aware of it, trying to see if he can get it. And there is a bit of a hill in the way. He's going to run up to this Dacia, and it's going to be interesting because Godby does have an SLR, and if it gets any closer than this, he can switch over to that Groza. I think if Godby's patient, doesn't get himself knocked, he should be able to get Forever over here to finish the job. Boliang's barrier. Boliang's going to go down. Excuse me, it was crazy. It's over there as well, getting some kills. Forever steps up, gets the finish. Back-to-back games for 4 AM, G-Clef.
4 AM.